So this is a video at the AOAA trails in Pennsylvania. These trails are really nice. They have a lot of green trails and blue trails, some reds and blacks. The majority of the trails here are green trails, and the green trails are really good for trucks with like 32, 31-inch tires. So not extreme off-road capability, but some good off-road capability. Not crazy, like you don't need 35-inch tires to go on the green trails. But the blue trails, I would say probably more like 70, maybe 60% of those trails, you need 35-inch tires. You can do a lot of them with 32-inch tires, which I have on my truck. But 32-inch tires you need skid plates if you're going to have 32-inch tires on blue trails. So these trails I'm showing right here are green trails, and they're kind of, some minor water crossings. And that's what I kind of want to show you right here. Some of the fun water crossings you can do. They have a lot of water crossings, and they have a couple big ones too. And I'm going to show you one of the big ones. It's coming up. Not quite yet, but this one, like I said, just a couple minor water crossings. And you can see when you go in them, they're probably, maybe a foot deep at the deepest part. So it's fun. I brought my kids with me on this trip, and I really liked bringing the kids. Another thing about AOAA is because they got a campground, you can bring your kids. It's not going to break the bank when you go to this campground and go to the off-road park. I would suggest when you bring the kids, do 2, maybe 3 days trip. That way you can do a little camping. You can take the kids off-roading and not go out there for, 8-9 hours of off-roading. You can go out there for maybe 3 hours of off-roading, and it's not going to make the kids sick of this. So you can go out there for a little bit. Now here's a water crossing I really love at AOAA. This one, there are 3 paths to take. There is the left path right over here, and that's if you just want to get around this area. You don't have a buddy with you. And then there is the middle path, which if you have a buddy with you, you can go this path. It's pretty deep. I didn't have a buddy with me, so I made the mistake. I went through the middle, but it was fine. And then there is the right path over here. This path, I would suggest you have 35-inch tires because it gets a little deep. But like I said, I didn't have my buddies with me, and I ended up deciding to go with the middle route because it's more fun. So let's go to the middle route. All right, so this is me kind of rolling forward. I generally like to test the water a little bit. I don't get completely in, and I want to feel how the tires are hitting the ground. If it's a little smooth, I know that the mud is real slick and I'm going to be in trouble, but I can kind of feel it bouncing around just a little bit. I also hit the gas in reverse. This gives me another test of the ground underneath that water. It tells me, is it going to be super slimy, mud? And when I hit the gas backwards, it came out really fast, which kind of gave me a good telltale that this has a pretty decent bottom to it. You can't always tell, the further you go in, but it kind of helps you out a little bit to tell you that there's a nice firm bottom. And there was a firm bottom. It got a little bit deep, maybe 2 feet deep, but it wasn't too deep for it. 2 feet's fine. 32-inch tires, 2 feet, you still got some tire popping out of the top. Like I said, that was a really nice, water hole right there. But the great thing about AOAA is it is endless trails. I mean, like I said, bring the kids here. This is a great place to bring the kids because there's a campground kind of attached to it. And I generally, when I bring the kids, I go maybe 3 hours of off-roading. I might take the kids to the city, to the town nearby, do something there. There's a neat tank in that town. I'm not saying you can climb on it, but we climb on it, for kids. Kids love that stuff. And then go to the campground, do a little camping, and then go out and go off-roading again for, 3 hours the next day, maybe 4 at the most. because you don't want kids to get bored out of off-roading. When I personally go out alone, I go for an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day. But with kids, keep it a little short so they can really enjoy the off-road experience. So that's it. And you like what we're doing, please subscribe because you all make it happen.